G'day ladies and gents, welcome to War Thunder with Mags, and today I've got another double realistic battle for you. First up, we're doing the Focke-Wulf 190A-8. Now I had a bit of a request to show another battle in this thing the other day. Apparently a few people are still grinding towards it. I didn't bother doing a first impressions on it as I thought it was an aircraft that most people would gain access to at a fairly quick basis, being how good the A5 was and its position in the queue, and the fact that you've got to go through the A8 to get the new D9. Now, surprisingly, one of the reasons why I was asked to throw up a couple of videos about this thing was a lot of people don't seem to like it, and I can't figure out why. It does have some odd handling characteristics, and mine is not fully upgraded at the moment. I have basically unlocked whatever parts that were required in order to get access to the belts for the 50 caliber machine guns and the belts for the 20mm cannons. Besides that, I have very little else unlocked unless I absolutely needed to get it in order to get to those belts. And I really like this aircraft. Its maneuverability is a little to the lacking side. It's very close to the capabilities of the 190A-8, but she's a bit heavier. It does have an odd handling characteristic when you point her at the ground that sometimes she doesn't like to pull out when she's moving at an excessive speed or at an excessive dive angle, which is odd in an aircraft that's also supposed to be built for ground attack. Now to the battle. Now I've just had my first tangle with the Spitfire. I had to dive out and get some speed. I was in a turn fight with the Spitfire in something like an A8. That is not something you want to be doing. Unfortunately, Caden is in his 109 G6 and they both turned around and went after him, thinking a G6 would be an easy target. I've got to help him. Now one Spitfire's staying up. He's obviously tracking me at the moment. I'm not worried about him. He's got a hell of a dive to come down and get me. Caden has taken his G6 full evasive, and I am down chasing a Spitfire 16. Now the Spitfire 16 has me in the manoeuvring area. It's can run its WEP longer than the A8 can without cooling issues or heating issues, more to the point. But speed, it will not outrun the A8. And there we go, you see I just crippled. I took half its control surfaces off in a big burst. It's gone into a flat spin. Spitfire 16 is out. Now, this Mosquito had a hard-on for me for this whole match. This is his third pass at me. I edited the first bits out because, well, there was nothing particularly interesting there to watch. But he made 3 passes at me. That was his third. I have no idea why he was so interested in me. Now Caden's just gone head-to-head with the last Spitfire, and unfortunately came off for the worst side. He put some damage on the Spitfire, but the Spitfire crippled him. But then it made the mistake of trying to run its luck twice and going nose to nose with me, and I've just crippled his control surfaces, so second target down. Now an important thing to note here is I don't actually have a result for this battle, because this battle was a loss. This was a 57,000 credit, 4,900 research point loss. And it was a loss because I eliminated the entire enemy team's worth of players and left a 410 and a G10 to kill the 2 remaining AI. And they both got shot down. Not shot down by AAA, shot down by AI. But there goes the Mosquito, and if I knew how this battle would have gone, I would never have done that pass, but nose to nose, took out its engine, its control surfaces, its burst right after I killed it, got my wing. So that's a 3 kill loss. So, the other aircraft that was requested for me to take a bit of a flyout was the P-40 Kitty Hawk, and I have to admit I don't fly this aircraft anywhere near as often as I used to, but I do love it. Another thing that I have to say is I didn't realise it at the time, but I never fully upgraded it. I didn't realise till I completed this battle that I only have the level 3 modifications to this version, but I'm going to have to fix that. So this is my Kitty Hawk in RAAF camouflage. And to anyone from Gaijin who might come across my videos, or hopefully comes across this video, seriously guys, unlock the RAAF Randall for US aircraft. Australia flew as many US aircraft as it did British aircraft. You've got RAAF camouflage jobs on aircraft in the US line. You have the New Zealand Randall unlocked for the US. Why the hell have you not unlocked the Australian for it? It makes no sense. We flew Kitty Hawks, we flew Hellcats, we flew Buffaloes, we flew Corsairs, we flew F-80s and Sabres, Bufords, we had A-20 squadrons. Unlock the Roundel, please. I forgot how much I like the cockpit in this thing. It's got just such a good view range. And speaking of RAAF, I'm up in this battle with Oz Salty from RAAF Squadron. Been flying with Salty a little bit recently. He was one of my subs and got through and contacted me, and damn good pilot. So at the moment, just climbing for altitude, not too much. I'm expecting this is going to be a fairly low altitude fight. This is obviously the Korea map, so we're against the Russians, and the early aircraft that the P-40 will wind up fighting from the Russian side have a tendency not to be the most brilliant climbers. We're talking about things like the premium P-40 Kitty Hawk is a constant, the I-16s. Maneuverability, they have. Firepower, they have. Climb rate is... well, it's a bit like the Americans, actually. It's a bit meh. So I'm expecting this whole battle to happen under 10,000 feet. Still, there's no reason for me to not to climb out wide and try and get to that 10,000 foot mark, so I have the advantage over anybody else that comes up. So I'm beginning to make make gentle turns back towards the main town that all the combat in the Korea map happens over. Maintaining over 300 kilometers an hour. I want to maintain maximum airspeed. Why these the Russian aircraft around this tier have a tendency not to climb too brilliantly. They are fast, and a Kitty Hawk caught at low speed will be an easy kill. The flight style for the Kitty Hawk is also fairly interesting. While it has all the handling characteristics of a great boom and zoomer, it is also manoeuvrable enough to get into a turn fight. Obviously I wouldn't recommend throwing this thing into a hard turn fight against something like an A6M2. They will just outturn you. But of all the American aircraft, this is the one that would keep up at the closest rate. Against things like the German fighters that I'm going to, or the Russian fighters rather, that I'm going to be encountering, the P-40 in a turn actually has the advantage. It will outturn low-level 109s. It will outturn... probably the only thing that will give it an equal fight is the MC-202, and that's the MC-202 is actually very similar in its handling style to the Kitty Hawk, but the Kitty Hawk has better guns. I'm really not a fan of the Italian 50 caliber cannons, 50 caliber MGs. So first target's lit up, and I suspected it would be a premium P-40 would be on the map somewhere. I really must get myself one of those at some stage. And it looks like it's ground pounding. I have no idea why you would be down in the dirt in the P-40, but he's down there and he's already got fighters falling in on him. No reason for me to go in. Between the Boo fighter and I believe it's another... that's a P-400 going in on him at the moment. He is in a world of trouble. Now I have spotted a dot off in the distance in the direction that I'm heading. I lost it though. I'm not entirely sure where it went. So I know there is a fighter out this way. I just don't have an exact location on him. And he's just popped up. I-16. Slightly higher altitude than me, not by much. Now, the I-16 is an interesting fighter counterpart to the P-40. The P-40 actually has faster turn than the I-16. What the I-16 has is a better roll and better elevation control. I'm not sure why he put it into a dive though. He had the altitude advantage and then just gave it up. So he pulls it up. I take it vertical. I'm trying to kill some speed and get a better attack for him. I've realised I've accidentally unlocked him as a target, so I wasn't sure where he went then. I lost track. reacquired. Into the turn, moving in. It looks like he was about to take a shot at an A20G then, but thought better of it. Probably a wise move. The A20G is packing incendiary rounds. I-16s tend to explode when hit by incendiaries in the engine. First hit, and it's a crit. And damage the oil tank. That will cause problems. I-16s with damaged oil tanks overheat very quickly, so he's just basically lost control of his weapon. Second hit through, so that's caused damage to the lift. That hit the wings. He's just keeping ahead of my guns at the moment. I drop the throttle back a little bit. Just trying to use elevation control to outmaneuver. He's going to take it in, so I'll take it through the vertical with him. As you can see, he's turning much tighter in that area, even with his damage, but he's pushed himself into a stall because he can't run his engine at full. And that's the kill. Take it down low over the trees. And bug out. Now I'm trying to return to my wingman here. Now Salty's actually RTB due to battle damage at the moment, so I'm trying to position myself in between the runway and any potential enemies coming in. Now I know there's a MiG-3 in the area. Unfortunately, he doesn't make it back. But still, I'm expecting at this point there's going to be a few planes that are going to try and reposition for the base, so I'm just re-angling myself in the middle. That's when I realised that MiG-3 has slipped right up. Why he didn't get the kill shot on me then, I don't know. Roll over to bring me around onto his tail. Now, I've flown the MiG-3s. These things are monsters. This is the one aircraft here that should have been able to easily outperform everything I can do in the Kitty Hawk, and that's my second hit in and a crit. Now, I was spraying a little wildly there. That's my second kill. Now I've basically got half the pack on my wing at the moment, so time to go in and hunt down their last player. All that's left at this time is one player and 2 AI. And I have no idea where this player is. I haven't seen him the whole match. Oh, I've got a detect. Somehow he slipped in behind the saw. Yak 7. Good fighter, but we're 3 up. So this was never going to be fair. Tries to go head to head. I put a burst and try and manoeuvre. Take a good hit to the wing. P-40 comes in nice and close. There's some damn good flying on these guys. They were flying close to one another, but I never felt... Normally when I have players fly that close to me, I feel at risk. This time, however, I didn't. Yak 7's making a second pass. Again, I clipped him, but he's put more damage into me. The fuselage damage I'm not particularly worried about, but that engine damage has me concerned. That said, at this time I'm all or nothing. Keep the WEP on, I'm going for the kill. I'm into my last MG rounds. 179 left. 83 left. They were more spray and praise there. I was just hoping to clip control surface. And the whole way through this chase, all I could visualise was the scene from Finding Nemo with the seagulls. You know, mine, 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 mine. And down he goes. Damn good shooting to that P-40. It just shoulder shot straight over the top of the air cobra and just split the whole rear section off that Yak 7, put him straight into the dirt. And from here, however, I have 83 rounds of MG left on board, and I've got an engine that's getting ready to explode, so I'm RTB for repairs and ammo. Of course, by the time I get and put wheels down, this battle was over. So let's flick through to the results. So, I came in second place with 2 kills, and props to everybody that was flying on the American team for this match. There was some bloody good flying amongst all of yous. I came out with the Fighter Award and Bulletproof, 28,870 Silver Lions, and 1,574 mod research. Now you'll notice I don't have any aircraft research for this battle. This is because in my US line I've researched every aircraft that they have available. There's nothing else for me to research, so the stat simply does not come up. Same as researched unit is now blank. There's nothing there. So that is the Kitty Hawk. I do need to drag this thing out more often. I do love flying the low-level Americans, especially the Kitty Hawk. It is one of my favourite aircraft in the game. It is always fun when you bring it out. So ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed this video. Click like if you do, subscribe if you want to see more. Fly smart, fly safe, and I'll catch you in the skies.